folks, this is our second episode. I'm Tyler Gross. This is my partner Colin Welsh. Tonight we're going to talk to you about our impressions from the weekend in football, both NFL and college. I'm going to start in Stanford, where they had the huge upset win against USC last weekend. A lot of people have high expectations for them after that, but I'm pretty hesitant to buy in, knowing that their defense doesn't have a lot of speed. They're more built to play opposing quarterbacks like Matt Barkley. They were able to get pressure on him because, he's not very mobile. But with UCLA and Oregon on the schedule, both with very mobile quarterbacks, a lot of speed there. I just don't see this team getting to the Pac-12 title game like a lot of people are predicting. What do you think, Colin?
I'm going to go with Alabama. They really impressed me with the 52 win over Arkansas. I know Tyler Wilson didn't play. I know they were huge favorites already, but 52-0 against an SEC school, that's still pretty impressive. I figured Nile Davis would have squeezed in a touchdown there, maybe even got a field goal. Yeah. So Alabama looks really, really good.
I'm going to move now to the Nebraska Cornhuskers. We are all well aware by now that Bo Pelini left the game at halftime, so I'm going to go ahead and give them an excuse for those 4 turnovers they committed in the second half. The defense did show improvement, but keep in mind, folks, it's Arkansas State. You should show improvement against a team like that. I still think that they have a lot of things to shore up before they open Big 12 play against Wisconsin. Big 10 play against Wisconsin. And let's go down to Colin.
I'm going to go with the Florida Gators. They pulled off a really impressive win against Tennessee, and they did it in pretty easy fashion. They forced Tyler Bray to throw a pair of picks, and I was really impressed by Jeff Driscoll. He had a really good game, 14 for 20 passing, 220 yards, and a pair of TDs, as well as 80 yards on the ground. I think Florida is moving their way up in the SEC back up to the top.
Yeah, Florida State started 3-0 this year. They've played some pretty weak schools. Wake Forest is the toughest competition that they've had. They're not exactly a national powerhouse. They got a huge game this week to open ACC conference play. They host Clemson on Saturday Night Football, the game day game. A lot of pressure, the bright lights. A lot of people are buying in already, but I'm going to wait and see how they do this Saturday to see if I'm going to go all in on the Florida State Seminoles. Let's move now to the NFL. Colin, what do you have for us?
The Seahawks, they really impressed me this weekend. Their defense was really good in this game. They forced some turnovers, got a blocked punt. Russell Wilson looked way more efficient this weekend as he was 15 of 20 passing, 151 passing yards and a touchdown. Marshawn Lynch as well added 122 yards on the ground. I like the Seahawks. They might squeeze a wild card spot this year.
I'm going to stay in the NFC West, and I'm going to talk about the St. Louis Rams. Jeff Fisher in his first year, they're just a couple games in, and he's already doing his thing. Yes, defensively they give up some big plays, but there's clear improvement on that side of the ball. They picked off RG3 last week. I've been pretty impressed by their defense so far. Also, I want to talk about Danny Amendola. He's got 20 receptions for 230 yards and a touchdown so far. Those are crazy fantasy numbers. Nobody predicted this from Amendola. I don't think that they're going to win the division this year or even compete, but they are going to be a tough out for every team they play. They play a tough brand of football for 60 minutes every week. I do like how the Rams are playing. Colin, what do you have for us now?
First off, I like Danny Amendola in the point per reception league. If you have a point per reception league, definitely start Danny Amendola next week. But I'm going to go with the Patriots. Tom Brady and Wes Welker, I don't think that they're on the same page anymore. I think that they're trying to wean him out of the offense a little bit and move Julian Edelman more in. I think this might be Wes Welker's last year in New England. He has only 8 receptions for 109 yards this season compared to 15 receptions for 240 yards in the first 2 games last year. So I think Wes Welker might slowly be fading out of this offense.
There are 6 2-0 teams in the NFL right now, but I'm going to bring up one that nobody's talking about, the Houston Texans. There's not a lot of media buzz or attention around this team, so I'm going to give them some love. They rank 6th in rushing yards per game on offense. And on defense, they rank number 1 in total yards allowed. They've allowed under 200 yards. That's their average. The closest team is 68 yards away. And, just crazy numbers on defense. Matt Schaub's looking good. Arian Foster looks good. Ben Tate with 2 touchdowns last week. It all just looks really good, all-around good football for the Texans in Houston.
All right, so the Eagles, they did it again. Pulled off another 1-point win. The only team in history to ever win back-to-back games by 1 point. Michael Vick has a total of 6 INTs this year, and they're still winning the game. If they can not turn the ball over so much. I think that they'll be a really, really top dog team. They beat a very tough Baltimore team. I don't think Baltimore needs to panic. I think that they'll still win the NFC East and the AFC North. But I think that the Eagles are a favorite in the NFC East, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot of buzz going around the league and all over the Twitter sphere right now about these replacement refs that the NFL has right now. Colin, I understand you have something for us on that?
Oh yeah, these refs, they're just getting pushed around like no joke. They have no control over the games, and I think they're scared to miss calls, so that they're way too aggressive on calling pass interference. They need to find a happy medium between being lenient and being really aggressive, and I don't think that they're there yet. So we'll see in the weeks to come.
All right, we're going to go down to our power rankings section. We're going to start with college football. I'll start. I have the Crimson Tide ranked number 1. I have LSU at number 2. The Oregon Ducks come in at number 3. Florida State at number 4. And West Virginia at number 5. The polls don't really have West Virginia that high, but I've been really impressed by Geno Smith in this offense. They've looked simply unstoppable. I'm just really high on them. And Colin, what do you have?
Ours are a little similar, but I like Alabama at 1, LSU at 2, and then I like Florida State at 3, Georgia at 4, and West Virginia at 5. I just think Georgia and Aaron Murray are doing a lot with Isaiah Crowell not in the offense. I think that they surprised a lot of people by still being a force to reckon with. So those are my top 5.
Yep. I mean, you don't have Oregon in there. Why not love on them?
I like their offense a lot, but I still don't think that their defense could handle a USC or any of that, even Alabama's run game. I just don't think their defense is there.
All right. I mean, same thing goes for Georgia, except I don't see it offensively from them yet. I think they always talk about Aaron Murray and the it factor. I don't think he has it. I mean, in big games, he hasn't been able to perform. The SEC title game last year, he was pretty underwhelming. And let's go down to our NFL power rankings. I will start with the 49ers at number 1. I think they're the clear pick for the favorite. They've been really impressive through the first 2 weeks. I'm going to go with the Houston Texans at number 2. I'm pretty high on them. I like the way they've looked so far. I got the Green Bay Packers coming in at number 3, the Atlanta Falcons at number 4, and the Philadelphia Eagles at number 5. I flip-flopped with the Ravens and the Eagles with that number 5 spot, but I'm going to give the Eagles the advantage with that head-to-head win last weekend.
My top 5, I like the 49ers at 1. I like the Falcons at number 2. I don't think anybody is stopping this Falcons offense. I mean, you might get them to go 3 and out a couple times, but they're definitely going to have some success scoring at least 21 points a game. Mm-hmm. I like the Texans at number 3. They looked well. They're not getting a lot of credit, but they did look really good. The Packers at number 4, even though they lost their opening game, but it was against the 49ers, so you got to give them some love. And the Ravens at number 5. I know the Eagles did beat them head-to-head, and they are 2-0, but I like John Harbaugh, and I think the Ravens will still be a Super Bowl favorite.
Pretty high on the Eagles, huh? Or the Falcons?
Yeah, I like their defense. Definitely impressed me.
Yeah,
they forcing 4 turnovers in the first quarter. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, they had Peyton Manning jumbled in that one. Well, thanks for watching our second episode. We love all our fans. Thanks for watching. We'll be back tomorrow with our predictions for next week's games. Thanks, guys.
So another thing to add here at the end, Geno Smith, I heard, might be favorited over Matt Barkley as the number 1 pick just because of RG3's success. You know, the two-headed monster at quarterback has seemed to be the new in thing.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Thank you guys for watching.
Yep. Thank you. We'll see you guys tomorrow.